So my point is graph of y equal to sine of x, or graph of y equal to cosine of x or tangent of x, they are similar to them. The style is we make a table, say x and y, we pick a value for x, for example, x equal to 0, then sine of 0 equal to 0. So we pick more points for the new type of equations, but same as before. And there are some characteristics that we can come up for the shortcuts. For example, we learn about period of this sine of x and amplitude. We learn if we have y equal to a, capital A, sine of bx, absolute value of a will be amplitude, I mean the height of the graph. This is this is height, it's called amplitude, this distance, and 2 pi over b will be the period of the graph. That means the shortest distance that the graph will repeat. And for the sine of x will be only 2 pi, also for cosine. Any question? Not as usual. So y equal to sine of x, we learn the graph, sine of 0 is 0, sine of pi half is 1, sine of pi is 0, 3 pi half is -1, and 2 pi is 0. So the graph will go something like this. All right. This is one revolution, but this means going to continue with the same style, same way. We're also going to go this way. Good. This is a graph of sine. If I ask you guys graph y equal to 2 sine of x, so the cheating way is we start with sine of x, correct? Graph of sine of x we learn is like this. 2 sine of x, this is 2 is the amplitude, but all those points gonna be same. We just need to move it up, not move it, stretch. I mean, this point, which is 1 right now, this is my eyes. I see 1. If the amplitude is 2, so it should go here. The amplitude -2 should go here. So the graph will go all the way up, all the way to -2 and goes here. So this is how it repeats. Are you guys following me? All right, Jake, thanks for participation. So then what about the period? So anything happens here. Now let's have another graph with the blue, y equal to -half sine of x. We can apply all type of transformation that we learn in algebra. So we have negative. So the main graph is sine of x. So this is sine of x. Negative, it will flip it. So it will be exactly mirror it to the x-axis. It will be something like this, if that's the x. Good. Then negative, then 1/2. This was 1. 1/2 will be half of that. The amplitude will be half of that. But period will be same. So the graph, we pick blue. This is 1/2, correct? That's -1/2. So the graph gonna go here. but because it's, so this is half of sine of x. This is half of sine of x. But now if I make negative, this should go with, I like to pick green. It will be something like this. It's not fun. So not bad, correct? What about y? Well, y equal to sine of 2x. So in order to graph it, you can just use a calculator, but you need to understand all those x-intercepts. So by looking at this graph, we know that we are dealing with graph of sine. Graph of sine, you have it in your note sheet. So you make a graph of sine. For example, this what you have. This is what you have in your note sheet, correct? This is sine. This is sine of x. For sine of 2x, we don't want to make a table. We don't want to make a table here, x and y, x0. This is going to be too much of work. If somebody pay you guys, do that. But we have a shortcut. The shortcut is, we know the amplitude is 1. So the amplitude will be 1. This 1 is okay with us. But something happening with the period of the graph. The formula that we have, y equal to a sine of bx, the period of the graph is 2 pi over b. So the period will be 2 pi over 2, which happens to be pi. That means this much, which before was from 0 to 2 pi, should happen 0 to 2 pi. So this curve should be between 0 and 2 pi, 0 to pi. So this is the original graph, which is 2 pi. So now everything should happen end here. So what's going to happen to pi? So you can just move it this way all the way. I mean, smash it. Don't transfer it. We just, this point 0 going to be stay. You hold it. You push pi this way. So 0 will be 0. This pi will be the end point, correct? Now we need to have this one inside. So pi half. So the pi gonna go this way. We're gonna have this. So the graph will be something like this. So this is a graph of sine of 2x. Does this make sense? Yvette, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you. Nicole, does that make sense? Nicole? Jonathan?
Yep.
Marcio? No. Is it Marcio?
Mauricia? Yeah.
Marcio, sorry.
You good. Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, I knew that. I explained very well. So so you need to have a good page of notes regarding this type of, is super advanced. I mean, this is an advanced graph periodic, but if you know the all those all those cheating way to graph, it will be super easy. So is enough of, oh, let's have one more about sine. Y equal to 2 plus sine of x. So now this is a sine of x, nothing multiplied by sine of x, correct? So the graph of sine of x is like this. The period is same because there is no number here. The amplitude is same because it's 1, correct? This 2, so we just shifted 2 units up. So the graph going to be, for example, somewhere around here. All right, so don't think amplitude will change. Only the midline will change. The midline going to be at 2, y equal to 2. If we have, what about this one? So if it's negative, we shift it down. Let me make some challenging question for you guys. Y equal to sine of x minus pi over 3. Tell me what is the amplitude, what is the period, and graph it. So what is the amplitude here?
1.
Very good. Amplitude, so we don't negotiate that, or there's something extra in the sign. No, amplitude is whatever number multiplied by sine, which is absolute value of 1 is 1. What is the period here?
Is it 2 pi?
Very good, 2 pi, still 2 pi. So the formula for period was whatever number multiplied by x, there is only nothing, it's same as before, is 1 multiplied, so 2 pi. So the graph, that means it still is same. We are, that's pretty. Yeah. So everything is same. So do you think the graph of sine of x and graph of sine of parenthesis x minus pi over 3, it will be exact same? Yvette, since you have a microphone, tell me, is it going to be same?
No.
No, correct. Definitely you see some extra pi over 3. So what should we do to this beautiful graph?
Does it shift
Very good.
to
Yeah.
the... Okay.
Very good. So if it's outside of the function, this is our function. If it's outside, we go up or down, correct? Same as before. If it's inside the function, inside, I mean, if you guys remember, we had y equal to like x squared plus 5. We said we shift this graph 5 units up. If we have x minus 5 squared, then we are dealing with horizontal shift, right? If it's minus, we said we shifted 5 units to the right, it will be here, somewhere here, right? So exactly same thing. This is minus. So we're going to shift the graph pi over 3 to the right. So it will be, for example, something like this. Good. I didn't do a good job, but that's how the point is we shifted pi over 3 to the right. If it's negative, we go to the right. If it's positive, we go to the left. All right, I think that's enough of sine. Let's talk about cosine. Y equal to cosine of x. Let me see if I bring the unit circle. Where is the unit circle? That's a good place to put. Yeah. So we're going to graph y equal to cosine of x. So graph means we need to create a table and find x and y. So I'm going to say x and y. If x is 0, what is the cosine of 0? Karen, what is cosine of 0?
I'm not sure, but I can look it up.
Hmm?
I'm not sure.
Cosine of 0 is 1. Good. If you look at the unit circle, cosine of 0 will be 1. So what this means, so in the unit circle, this is 0, and cosine of that is 1. It's here. So that means when x is 0, when x is 0, when x is 0, y is 1. So 0, 1, going to start from here. That's the point. Because for the sine, we start from here because cosine of 0 was 0. What is pi half? What is cosine of pi half? Cosine of pi half is 0. That means it's going to hit 0. And if it's pi, we have cosine of pi is -1. It's going to go here. 3 pi half. Definitely, we need more points between, but I'm just getting all the coordinates that they are exact. 3 pi half, cosine of 3 pi half, it will be 0, and cosine of 2 pi, cosine of 2 pi will be positive 1. So what's happening is I go here, then 2 pi gonna go there. So if we graph it, the graph will be something like this. That's the graph. It's a 1 period, 0 to 2 pi for cosine of x. So that's the way cosine x look like. So if you x and y, the idea is gonna go like this. There's 1 period. For the sine, we learn is like this. I know you guys like sine more because it's more, what do you call it? Is I don't know, this is much better looking than this guy. But so this will continue, right? If you let it go, it looks like sine. Because if you shift the sign a little bit this way, you will get cosine. So this is the amplitude, which is 1, and period is 2 pi. Let's have one question on about cosine. Y equal to 3 cosine of x plus pi over 4. So in order to graph, but usually might be multiple choices of which one is best fit for this. So we are dealing with cosine. Good. Graph of cosine. What layer I am? Okay. Cosine is start from 1, goes here. So this is 2 pi, correct? This is pi half. That's pi. So those intercept is very important. We have 3. The amplitude is 3. That means we're going to have same thing goes to 3. And -3. So the graph will be start from 3, goes all the way to -3, goes up all the way to 3. So we took care of the 3. Now, what is a period and what should we do with this pi over 4?
Does it shift to the right?
Excellent. We shift to the left. So first, the period is important. Here is 1, so the period will be 2 pi, so nothing will change. If it's plus, we go to the left. I know you guys want to go to the right because plus, but we do opposite. So how much should I shift this one to the left? We shifted pi over 4. For example, will be something like this. I said, I need to have a graphing paper. It has to be very accurate, but the point is we shifted pi over 4 this way. So not bad, correct? The graph of sine and cosine. Let's have a couple homework questions. So let's see which graph belongs to which equation. So that's how it will be in your exam homework. So we have sine and cosine, so there's no tangent and cotangent. So first one, let's look for sine of x minus pi over 4. So this, the way we approach it, so we are dealing with sine of x. The sine of x, the graph is like this. And minus pi over 4, if I ask current, should we go left to right? Which way should we go?
Now you got me confused.
I know it's my fault.
Because
If
it
I-
has a minus, so I don't know
Very
if it goes to the left or right.
So we said we do opposite. If it's minus, we go to the right. So we go pi over 4 to the right. We go this way. So which one do you think is that A to I? Which one is the best one?
D. Wait,
Very good. D. D is correct. So D is a graph of sine because it's like this, correct? It starts from 0 and shifted pi over 4 to the right. That's what Karen said. So D will be 9. Which one is sine of x plus pi over 4?
G.
G, very good. See that how if you know it, it's super easy. We just shifted pi over 4 to the left. Just remember current, right and left, minus cosine of x minus pi over 4. So cosine is start from 1, correct? It's like this. Minus pi over 4, we got to go to the right because it's minus. So is that h the best thing for 11? $14, which one is for 14?
E.
E. 14, somebody said E. Anybody else?
A. Maybe.
A, Jake?
Uh,
Why not? A, Jake said A.
I don't think so, actually.
E minus A. Anybody else? Nicole? No, if Nicole is there. Nicole? Nicole, if you hear me, you shouldn't leave after class. You should stay, you're gonna have exam. Edison, you're losing people every Friday. So let's investigate. We are dealing with sine, correct? The sine of x is like this, okay? We love it. Then the period and amplitude gonna be exact same. This minus 1 is outside of the function. Should we go up 1 unit or down 1 unit? Jake, should we go up or down?
Down.
Down, very good. So which one will be the best one? Is not here, or E. E is the correct one. So Jake, you said A. Your A looks like it flipped, correct? But we're not multiplying with negative 1. All right, this is story about shifting up and down. Let's do another one. Let's see what's this.
E.
B was Elizabeth, I guess. So we go with B.
I said E.
Oh, I said E.
Well,
Or
it's either B and E.
it's E like Elizabeth. So let's see if she's correct. And she's correct because this is sine, correct? This is sine of x. We have negative, it will flip. So it's a good choice. Very good. E is correct. Which one is 8? Negative cosine of x?
D.
Very good, Karen. Is that you? D. Cosine of x is like this. That's what you have it in your note sheet. We don't want to have all type of different graph in our note sheet. We just have sine, cosine, tangent, then we do the transformation in exam. So that's the graph of cosine. We have negative, we flip to the D. Excellent. What about 9? So please don't pick E and D. E and D has gone.
I think it's C, but I'm not sure.
Karen said-
No, never mind, because that one is for cosine.
No, you said C.
No.
Karen said C. Even
F.
F. Yeah. Very good, Karen. So you saw it and you said C, and then you saw this is a graph of cosine, but that's excellent. This is very good. That's a good call. So definitely C is not correct, but C start from 2. Somebody said F. Let's see, investigate an F. So let me cross this guy. It's like a tornado. All right, so F. Anybody else? So somebody said F, but I might not be correct, but let's see some. Anybody else for number 9?
Maybe B.
Jake said B. Put a good font for you. Anybody else? So
B.
is what?
I said I agree with B.
I agree with Jake. Jake has follower now. Very good. So we are dealing with sine. Good. The graph of sine is like this. The maximum we get 1, the minimum we get -1, and this is 0 to 2 pi. That's what we have in our note sheet. Should amplitude is 1, so the graph will be same. Never gonna go to 2, correct? This 2, that means amplitude is 2. That means this is 2 sine, 2 is outside. So the things changes the period of the graph. Period is 2 pi over b, which is 2, which is pi. So period will be pi. That means this much wavy shape, it will change from 0 to pi, which is b. Very good. This is correct. So what about 10? What is cosine of 2x?
A. A.
Let's investigate current cosine of 2x. Very good. A. Cosine of 2x is A. Final answer. Amplitude is 1, so this is 1. 2, that means period will change. Period will be 2 pi over 2, which is pi, end up being here. So this is gone. We have 2 left and 2 graph. 11, what is that?
F.
11 is 2 sine of x, graph of sine of x. We love it. 2 means the amplitude is going to be 2. Yes, this is a graph of sine of x. The most complicated choice, which one is 12? Which one is 12?
C.
All right. The graph of 12 is C. We're dealing with cosine, but amplitude is 2. Cosine used to be, I mean, it goes this much, but we move it amplitude to 2. Excellent. Very good. So it looks like you guys like to graph now. This graph y equal to tangent of x. Y equal to tangent of x. So in order to graph, we need to have x and y, correct? This is x and y. We will make a table x and y. If x is 0, what is tangent of 0?
Zero.
Very confident 0. Very good. 0, 0. How Do we know that from the unit circle, from the table that you should have in your note sheet? Is there? What is tangent of pi over 4?
One.
Very good, 1. What is tangent of negative pi over 4?
-1.
Very good, very good, -1. Come here. So on the unit circle, if I make a circle here, very good. Look. So on the circle, we learned x represents cosine and y represents sine. And if you guys remember, I did a mistake that day that I draw the tangent line on the top, but tangent line is right here. Oh my God, how can I? Good, that's a tangent line. So if is 0 is 0, if it's pi over 4, you let this line go, this will be 1. If it's negative pi over 4, we get to -1. Good. What about if it gets more than pi over 4 or more than 45 degrees? The value of tangent gets larger here, correct? What about tangent of pi half? What is tangent of pi half?
Infinity.
Tangent of pi half is infinity. That means when it's pi half, this line not gonna touch the tangents. So it's gonna be parallel. So what's gonna happen on pi half? On pi half, we're gonna have a vertical asymptote. That means it's gonna hit, the graph will go to infinity like this. Not that broken, but something like this. Agree? So the tangent never gonna, on the pi half, will hit to positive infinity. What about negative pi half? It will go to negative infinity. So at negative pi half, we have another vertical asymptote. The graph will go something like this. So this is a graph of tangents. Looks different with sine and cosine, but now you know the graph of tangent is like this. There are and this will repeat again at 3 pi half. We have so we have vertical asymptote here. The graph will go like this. Then 3 pi half, the graph will be something. So this is a periodic. It will keep repeating like this. What is a period? Period will be this distance, which is pi. The distance is pi. This distance is pi. So the period of the tangents is pi. What is the amplitude of tangents? This is like $1,000 question or 100,000.
Is it all real numbers?
You lost 100,000.
Wow.
All real numbers. I said amplitude. An amplitude for the sine and cosine. I know what you're thinking. This much is the amplitude, correct? This guy. The maximum it gets is the amplitude. This from the midline, the line that crossed the sine and cosine exactly half, to the up will be amplitude, or minimum plus maximum divided by 2. So what is the amplitude of tangent? Should I make a multiple choice? Is that A, B, C, or D? Since somebody just randomly pick A, B, C, D without looking at the question. Answer. So A is 100,000. B is 0. C, there is none. D is negative 100,000. Which one do you guys pick?
C.
Karen, you said C?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. There's none. Why there is no amplitude? Because we cannot measure the height. This is going to infinity, right? I cannot say infinity because this doesn't exist. So infinity will not be a good answer for this. You cannot say amplitude is infinity. Infinity means like weight of ocean or something that we cannot measure. But amplitude, for question, what is the amplitude of tangent? We said doesn't exist. So tangent and cotangent, they don't have amplitude because they goes to infinity. Graph of cotangent. So so far you know 3 graph. We know this one. We know this one. So I just graph in one period, correct? It will keep it. So you know this is sine, this is cosine, and this guy is tangent, correct? We have idea, we can choose. What about graph of y equal to cotangent of x? X, y. If x is 0, what is cotangent of 0?
Give me like a second.
Oh, you're using some device.
Yeah, my notes.
That's good. I want you to use it.
Cotangent is infinity.
Infinity. It doesn't exist. Cotangent of 0 is infinity. It doesn't exist. That means there is a asymptote here. What about pi over 4? Cotangent of pi over 4 is 1. What about cotangent of pi half?
0.
So it hits here. Then at pi, then if it's pi, then cotangent of pi will be infinity again. But negative pi half, then if we have 3 pi over 4, we get -1. So what I'm trying to graph, the graph will be something like this. Exactly opposite of tangent. Where is this graph coming from? Coming from positive infinity. It's a huge number. Comes is, where is the layer? So, oops. So let me. This is not the sun. This is a unit circle. X and Y. We learned this is a graph, this is a line of cotangent. So if it's 0, look at these two are parallel. They don't touch. That's why it's infinity or doesn't exist. It goes to positive infinity. When the theta gets bigger, it will touch. For example, when it's 1 degree, for example, this is 1, the graph should, it will touch the tangent in far away. That's why it's coming from the far away. If it's 1, for example, is big number. When the theta gets bigger, bigger, bigger to pi half, it hits 0. And after pi half, it gets negative to pi will be negative infinity. So this is one period of cotangent. Is that too much? Looks advanced. I know you right now love sine and love cosine. The good thing is most of the questions related to sine and cosine. We don't really, I mean, in exam, most of the questions related to sine and cosine. But you need to have some idea how a graph of cotangent and tangent look like. All right? And you do have idea. Any question? No question. So make a multiple choice. If you're somebody else without the knowledge that you guys have, you think they're super complicated. You think they cannot answer it, but you have little idea, you were able to pick it. And there is no challenging question in exam or homework. It's similar. If you know a little bit is enough.